Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is already July 23rd of 2025, and given that there's a lot of Meghan Markle drama and backlash going on still to this very day, in the midst of reshoots for With Love Meghan Season 2, we already know that that actually dealt with a lot of setbacks and how that in and of itself is already creating a lot of delays for the production. We know that things are being shifted around right now. We'll talk more about that later on. But what's interesting here has a lot more to do with how the secret is now out when it comes down to Meghan Markle, and how it is just that much worse than the overall pregnancy video and exactly what went on over there some months ago. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. Now, one thing about Meghan Markle that we could all agree on here is that she's a narcissist, she's greedy, she's of course, absorbed, and the best way to sum up her overall personality is that she's insufferable in nature, right? We all know this, Netflix knows this, they just don't want to admit it, and that's exactly why everything is just going out of control for CEO Greg Peters and even CEO Ted Sarandos. Yes, by the way, there are two CEOs. But what's interesting here has a lot more to do with what Netflix recently uncovered and what they actually uncovered some time ago, and how it's all working in conjunction with each other, and how it's creating a bigger mess and a more ugly scenario over at Netflix HQ. Now, one thing about Meghan Markle is that, yes, we already know that she got caught doing multiple things at Netflix. We already talked about the whole wine situation on set. But one interesting thing about this in particular, I think really does actually bring it to a different level where it does indeed make it worse than the pregnancy video beyond all that we have seen that she has done with the social media marketing campaign. Now, with the Meghan Markle drama only getting worse, especially now that reshoots for With Love Meghan Season 2 have been extended until the first week of August, one major development going on now involves more to do with Meghan Markle's uncovered social media videos by Netflix during their investigation that took place, and how it's already labeled as worse than the pregnancy video. It turns out that, of course, Netflix executives and producers decided to clear out Meghan Markle's office that she had obtained months ago at Netflix HQ when she held creative power for Season 2 of her series. A very big reveal that came out of this involved a very specific discovery. The biggest one of all had to do with Meghan Markle's social media campaign that was in the making without Netflix executives' knowledge, which contained plans for a series of videos that were already shot. Now, this actually involved another attempt at a viral video moment that Meghan Markle was not only going to use as part of the social media campaign, but also in the show itself, where she was going to dance with multiple pregnant women in the kitchen to a popular rap song in the middle of cooking. Now, the scene was reportedly inspired by Meghan Markle's viral pregnancy video back before she even posted that on social media, and she was going to use this dance-off of pregnant women, which by the way were her pregnant friends, in the kitchen as part of her Instagram marketing campaign, and how that video was also going to be used in a part of With Love Meghan Season 2 at the time. Now, it turns out that shockingly that Netflix CEOs Greg Peters and Ted Sarandos, they had shot down this idea some time ago before it even gained any leverage at Netflix HQ. The other viral video attempt, get this, by Meghan Markle, also involved already shot footage of her doing nearly the same exact thing with her pregnant friends on the beach in knee-high water, dancing to another rap song. Now, these social media videos were already shot and ready to be used for her marketing campaign. However, before she was able to edit them together, Netflix executives informed their legal team to intervene and prevent this from even happening. Now, when her office was cleared out, additional notes and storyboards of those scenes and how they would be incorporated into the show were also discovered. This just happened days ago. That were going to involve other social media marketing attempts to actually boost her campaign with pregnant women, and it left Netflix disgusted and embarrassed. This discovery is already creating additional tensions between both Ted Sarandos and Meghan Markle in the midst of the recent drama. Now, guys, let me just say one thing about this. Now, before I move on to the point where it gets even worse than that, we already know that Meghan Markle, it seems like she tries to do anything that would create shock and awe at this point, right? Anything that would stir up a lot of drama, anything that would actually stir up a lot of controversy, to actually bring people to her Instagram page, or to bring people to watch a clip or even click on one of the episodes of With Love Meghan Season 2. And it's just not working, right? Netflix is not having it because it's creating a lot of backlash toward them, both internally and, of course, in the public eye. It's not working at all. Now, look, we already know that there's a lot of things going on right now with Netflix, alright? They're removing content, they're raising rates, they're keeping on programs like this garbage that they're spewing out that is set and ready to debut by this fall, which, again, I mean, they're rushing this thing. This thing isn't even edited yet. With Love Meghan Season 2, as they like to call it, is not even finished filming yet, because they're going through reshoots. So they do have a lot of editing to do. Most likely, you know, this is not going to be ready until mid-September, maybe late September at this point. We'll have to wait and see exactly where it goes there. But again, now the plan is to wrap up filming by the very beginning of August. That gives them about a month, or, you know, give or take, to edit everything all together. And look, it's not like it's a movie with heavy CGI. They could do that rather quickly if they wanted to. But interestingly enough, yet again, I mean, this is where it gets even more intense. Now, to top things off, Meghan Markle, however, was reportedly outraged over the fact that Netflix prevented her and forced her to not release these, of course, series of videos, and she actually felt threatened with unwarranted legal warnings. Meghan is already warning to take legal action against Netflix if and once her contract comes to an end in September, and she is waiting until then to make a move with her legal team against Netflix. This is already going out of control for Greg Peters, the CEO, putting him under more pressure as it is. Now look, we know that Greg Peters and Ted Sarandos, they've had their differences over the years, especially in 2020 and 2025, but now you're seeing a lot of things changing tune, where Ted is beginning to lean more toward Greg. And I think that's just because of the fact that Meghan really went way too far at this point. And I think a lot of that has a lot to do with the fact that she's in full-on desperation mode. All of these Hollywood studios, pretty much, the major ones, they want nothing to do with her. We all talked about what happened with Amazon MGM Studios. We all talked about what happened with Paramount and Disney and all the like. It's not working well in her favor. Her time in Hollywood is short. The walls are closing in. She's boxed in a corner with nowhere else to go, except to maybe, for example, you know, low-budget production studios. That may very well be about it. Kind of like where Rachel Zegler is right now. That's all that she's getting offered after her Snow White box office failure by Disney, right? But again, we all know that Meghan Markle, at the same exact time, I think that she's going to keep pulling off stunts like this, even after and if her contract does indeed actually expire over at Netflix by this fall. You're going to see a lot of these attempts, a lot of these nonsense social media campaigns to either, you know, boost the familiarity or the overall, promotion of her podcast or whatever it may be, or any other show that she has in the works. Again, though, like I've said before, Meghan Markle is going to double down. She's going to keep doing this. She's already beginning to actually warn of taking legal action against Netflix if and when that contract does expire. That just goes to show you that there is basically a ticking, time moment right now where you really don't know what's going to happen in the coming weeks between Meghan Markle and Ted Sarandos. But overall, I would like to hear what everyone has to say about all this below in the comments between Meghan Markle and the uncovered videos that Netflix discovered and how they shot those down. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.